Well, good evening, owners. I'm Ben Klein, Commissioner of the Hardcore Challenge. Welcome to Hardcore Challenge Live, post-draft breakdown show. So, we're going to go over my predictions from last week, see if who made any spectacular moves by their stellar draft performance. The masterful GMs and owners that some of you are obviously should have swayed my opinion, you would think, in some capacity. Possibly not. I guess we'll get right into it and find out. Let's put this out there. Anybody that wants to call. Willie, I gave you a pass last night because you're new, and I knew that was a legitimate question you were asking, but anybody else calls me in the middle of broadcast, and I'm putting you on speaker when I answer, so just so you know. But there's the call-in number. Okay, write it down, save it. It's not going to change. So just to, let's get started. Like I said, tonight we're going to revisit last week's divisional predictions, see if anyone moved up or down based on your draft performance last night. I know you've all been sitting around since last night drooling over your team because everybody's team looks like a freaking superstar. Like it's loaded right now before week one. And then after week one, you're like, man, I can't believe I freaking drafted that guy. You know, we're all there every single season. A lot of us, some of you more than others. Some of you not so much, but, you know, by looking at the stats here, it happens to some of you. So let's get started. Great White North Division. Before last night's draft, I had Skull Crushers taking the division, with I'm thinking Arby's taking the wild card spot. That was followed by I'm Groot in third, Johnsonville Brats in fourth, and Bandalay coming up last in the division. Just didn't think they were going to fare well first trip into the Great White North. It's a strong division historically. I'm making no moves really in those predictions for this division. Even with the draft, I still think those picks were on point. I kind of took into consideration a little how I thought the direction they were going to go draft-wise, a couple of the top teams, and kind of stayed the course. I'm a little concerned, I guess, with Skull Crusher's QB, Famous Jameis, since, you know, he is a local boy. Because I am in the Tampa Bay area, I get a lot of Famous Jameis coverage, so, you know, I'm a little shaky on Famous Jameis. I'm not sold on him yet. But, you know, Arby's is in a similar position at quarterback. They've got Tom Brady out most of the first month, and they got to lean on a rookie, unproven. Prescott, Dax, out of the gate. So, still taking Skull Crushers. I think Skull Crushers knocks off, I'm thinking Arby's, and takes the Great White North. That's my big pick so far, and I'm sticking with it. Don't make me a liar, Skull Crushers. Don't make me a liar. Moving over to the Elite East, I see this as possibly still the weakest division this season. But I am going to have to tweak my predictions based off of the draft. I did think a couple of owners did do some nice things in the draft and improved what I thought they would be. I had Oski Assassins taking the division, followed by Bison Broncos at a close second, with the 5-3 Bandits at third, Pale Horsemen at fourth, and the Cheesehead in last. I am still sticking with Oski Assassins to win the division. But I do see promise out of our new owner, the 5-3 Bandits. I think they're going to miss the playoffs, but I see them battling to a close second in their first season in the Hardcore Challenge, proving that maybe they do belong. That will be followed by Bison Broncos. Now I'm predicting to drop from second to third, followed by Cheesehead, flipping with Pale Horsemen, moving up to fourth in the division, not coming in last. I think they had an okay draft. Still not thinking they're going to do anything spectacular. Pale Horseman, I don't think you had a very good draft. Will, I just don't think you had a very good draft. And I'm picking you to come in last in your division. Sorry. History just doesn't prove me wrong, I guess. Prove me wrong. Moving on to the Wild West. I had Stinky Pinky taking this division in a close race with Donkey Punch, followed by King Salami in third, Tama Tears, the defending division champ, in fourth, and Roid Ragers bringing up the rear. I think we all witnessed the train wreck that was draft day for Stinky Pinky last night with his login and his technical issues, and who knows? Who knows what was really going on? Will we ever really know the truth behind the draft day debacle for Stinky Pinky in 2016? Only those in the room with Stinky Pinky knows what truly happened. It's hard to tell. Only he knows. But however, that obviously affected his draft strategy and my predictions as well. I am now taking Donkey Punch to win the Wild West. That is my prediction. I am predicting them to actually have a tight battle for the Wild West with King Salami. I am predicting Stinky Pinky to now come in third in division. Having a shitty draft like that will affect you. I'm sorry, draft day is the most important day in the fantasy football season. If you're not at draft day and you're not driving the ship and you're not the general manager owner making the calls, your team's going to suffer. I know it wasn't Stinky Pinky's fault. Obviously, I'm sure he was extremely pissed, as I would have been at what was happening. But it just sucks because I know he was furious, man, not being able to get in. But it sucks. And I know it has to have effects. So I see him slipping to third in his division due to it. Because obviously it's not easy to replace talent in the Hardcore Challenge. Trades will have to be made. I still see Tamateras coming in fourth and Roid Raider sitting in last. Joey, I still see you sitting in last. I don't see where... Let's look at Joey's just for a minute, because Joey's a Hardcore Challenge OG. He's been in the league since 2009 and has never made the playoffs. So let's take a minute, shall we? And let's look at Mr. McCollar's picks for the day. Let's see who he ended up with. He does have Aaron Rodgers at quarterback, which I think is his obviously his shining star. But he picked RG3. There's a lot of people shining on RG3. Running backs, wide receivers, got Alshon Jeffries, Sean Jackson, Terrell Pryor, and Cecil Shorts. Cecil Shorts even on a team, isn't he a free agent? But regardless, Joey, I'm picking you to come in last. So prove me wrong this year, please. Finally, moving on to the Dirty South, my division. I still see the Dirty South as being a very strong division this year. And my prediction for the Dirty South was an all-out dogfight with Beaver Street Roar taking the division title, Big Mac Attack taking the wild card. That was followed by DeJensen third, Dez Caught It in fourth, and Renegade Misfits in last. Now, my predictions from last week still stay true for this division. I still think Beaver Street Roar repeats as champ, and Big Mac Attack, the commish, will take the wild card. However, I see Dez Caught It and DeGents flip-flopping. I think Dez Caught It moved up. I think they're in third. DeGents is going to finish in fourth. And I see Renegade Misfits, who I saw a lot of auto picks for them last night. Same as Stinky Pinky. Man, you can't hand over the keys to fate and expect good things to happen in fantasy football, because it freaking won't. It won't. So, to recap my predictions, as a whole, we have Skull Crushers rising to the top of the Great White North, dethroning repeated champion, who has won 5 straight division titles. I'm thinking Arby's. He will claim the Great White North, Skull Crushers. Oski Assassins will bounce back from missing the playoffs last year and claim yet another Elite East crown. Donkey Punch will make a return to the top of the Wild West, and Beaver Street Roar will return as back-to-back Dirty South champ. The 2 wildcard spots will be taken by I'm Thinking RBs and Big Mac Attack. This is how I see it, shaking out in 2016. I'm sure several of you think I'm incorrect. I'm sure, because I didn't pick you, or I picked you to come in last, or, I didn't think your draft was as good as you thought it was. Well, that's fine. You're obviously entitled to that. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong to spite me. I hope you do. I want to see fresh blood in the playoffs. You know, I look at the statistics and I make my predictions, but I want to see fresh blood in the playoffs. But I hope you can do it. I hope you can do better than I think you are going to do. But when you don't, we will have this little footage right here. I told you so. I'll be able to, I told you so. When you don't do it. So, those of you who haven't prior. Now, remember, all trades need 48 hours from the minute they hit my inbox. When it hits my email, it'll timestamp that sucker. It can be not activated until 48 hours from the time that happens. No exceptions. Don't email me. I got a guy on Thursday. Blah, 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 blah. Man, you should have already had it in. If you got a trade for Thursday night, guess what? You're screwed. It's not going to go through in time. So remember that. Start thinking about that because I know trades are going to start hitting us. Also, tomorrow night, 10 o'clock Eastern Time, our first of the season Hardcore Challenge Game of the Week show, where we will break down the first game of the week. We will do it every Wednesday night, right before the week starts on Thursdays. We will break down our highlighted game of the week. So check that out tomorrow, 10 o'clock. Guys, the draft is over. Hardcore Challenge 2016 is here, everyone. Are you ready for the challenge? Good luck. Game on.